Hello everyone, it's Miss Hinde-Taylor here reading chapter 5 of The Spy Who Loves School Dinners, and the title of this chapter is Le Cola. On Tuesday, Miss Jones said that we had to make an information poster about our favourite Antarctic animal. To begin with, I was going to do it about penguins, but then I didn't want to anymore because it reminded me about the argument I'd had with my Uncle Lou from London at the weekend, who can be very annoying even when he's being nice and bringing me gifts. Me and Uncle Lou had a bit of an argument because he got me a pencil case with polar bears on it and said it was because I was doing my project on Antarctica. So I said that I liked the pencil case, especially because one of the polar bears looked a bit like Zach, but it wasn't really about my project because polar bears don't live in Antarctica, and that's when Uncle Lou started laughing at me. And then he said, "Of course they do," and I said that they didn't. And the mum said that it didn't really matter right now, and I said that it did because Uncle Lou was wrong about the polar bears. And that's when Uncle Lou said that I was silly, which made me really annoyed. And then he said that Antarctica was the coldest place on Earth, and that was where polar bears and penguins lived. So I said that he was right about the cold and about the penguins, but he was wrong about the polar bears. But Uncle Lou still didn't believe me, even when I explained about how it was impossible and that penguins and polar bears live as far away from each other as you can get, even further than Uncle Lou lives from us. And that's when Mum said I should go and put the kettle on and that she'd make us all some tea. So I reminded her about how I was banned from the kitchen for life, and that's when Uncle Lou said he was going to show me on the computer about how he was right about the polar bears and about how I was wrong. So Uncle Lou searched on the computer, and that's when he found out that he was wrong and I was right. But I still said thank you for the pencil case. So anyway, Maisie decided to do her poster on the humpback whale because she thinks they're cute, and because the humpback whale leaves Antarctica in the coldest months. And Maisie said that that's what she would do if she had to live in Antarctica, because Maisie is scared of the cold and usually wears 2 coats to school. Oh look, there's a nice picture of Maisie all wrapped up. But Jodie wouldn't tell us which animal she was going to do a poster on, and she kept trying to hide her poster with her hand because she's like that sometimes. But then she said that she needed all of the black felt tip pens, and that's how we found out that she was doing her poster on the emperor penguin, because penguins are only black and white and you don't get white pens. I said that I wanted to do my poster on krill because it sounds funny, and Zach said that he wanted to do his poster on the sea spider, which was my second favourite, so it annoyed me a little bit when Zach picked it. So Miss Jones said that me and Zach should work as a pair and do a really big information poster about all the different Antarctica sea crustaceans, which are all the weird things in the sea that are not really fish, like crabs and shrimps and krill and other things. And then, when we were doing our posters, Zach got up and went to sharpen his pencil, even though his pencil didn't need sharpening, and he was just saying that it did so he could have a wander and look at everyone's posters. Then, when Zach was finished pretending to sharpen his pencil, he came back the long way and walked past Matilde's table, and I saw him peeking over Matilde's shoulder at the little black book she's always writing in, and then he looked shocked. And when he sat back down, he wouldn't tell me what he'd seen. He just said shh and grabbed my pen, and his hand was all sweaty, so I knew that what he'd seen was going to be serious and also probably life-threatening. And then Zach wrote down what he had seen in Matilde's book, and it said, "Plan, le cola, secrete." Oh, wonder what that means. And even though it was in French, and I'm not very good at French, I knew that the words meant secret plan. But then Jodie said that the French word Zach had written down could mean something completely different in English, like serpent or rabies. So she took charge of the French dictionary and looked up the words, and they did mean secret plan. So then I pointed out that I was right, and Jodie was wrong, and she got annoyed. And then she said that maybe I should just guess the rest of the words myself, since I was obviously obsessed with French. And so I said, fine, I will. And then she said she didn't care about the stupid French words anymore and went back to her seat. But we couldn't find le cola anywhere in the dictionary, so we didn't know what Matilde's secret plan was about. Then Jodie came back over, and she had obviously been listening, and she said, "I think we should ask Miss Jones." But then Maisie said, "I think le cola means cola, like the cola you drink. It probably just has an L first because it's French." But I didn't really think that Matilde was doing a plan about cola, because I couldn't see any cola, and because we'd never seen Matilde drinking any, and also because it didn't really make sense. So we asked Miss Jones what le cola meant, and Miss Jones got really excited because she thought Matilde had spoken to us. and that was how we'd heard the word. But I told Miss Jones that Matilde still hadn't said one word to us. And then I said that I thought I'd heard Matilde said cheese earlier, but that she was just sneezing. So anyway, Miss Jones looked at the word, and then she said it meant cola, but we said that we didn't think it did mean cola, and we asked her if there was anything else it could be. So Miss Jones looked at the word again, and then she said, "Are you sure you've spelled it correctly?" So we all looked at Zach, and he said, "Yes, I'm sure," but I wasn't so sure, because I think Zach might need glasses, because sometimes his eyes can read things wrong. Like the time Mum took us to the cinema and I went to the toilet before the film. When I came out of the toilet to wash my hands, Zach was standing at the sink next to me washing his hands. And we both screamed a little bit when we saw each other, and I shouted, "You're in the girls' toilets." And he said, "No, I'm not. You're in the boys' toilets." And then two ladies walked in and stared at him, and that's when he realised he was in the girls' toilets, and he must have read the sign wrong. So he ran out as fast as he could, and he almost fell over, and I couldn't stop laughing all the way through the film. Oh, look, there's a nice little picture of them in the toilets. So anyway, I said to Miss Jones that it might be spelled wrong. And then she said, "Okay, hold on." And she started looking on her computer. Miss Jones is very good on her computer, and she always finds the answers to our questions really quickly when we have questions like, what is the hairiest animal alive? And where did the first hamster come from? And in Turkey, how many actual turkeys are there? And then Miss Jones says, "Aha!" And she wrote down a French word on a bit of paper and asked Zach if this was the word he meant to write. And Zach looked at the word and said, "Oh, yes." And the word was l'école. Then Miss Jones told us that the word meant school. And then she reminded us to get on with our posters, so we did. But first we wrote out the new translation, which said, plan, school, secret. And Jodie said, "She's got a secret plan about our school, that's why she's here." And that's when we all knew that this was going to get serious. And then Maisie said, "Please don't let it be aliens, please, please, please," because Maisie still has nightmares about aliens, even when she's awake. But I said that I didn't think it was about aliens, and that I thought it was about spies instead, because spies have notebooks and secret plans and are probably always French. And then I took a deep breath and said, "I think the new girl is a spy." Look at the shocked faces. Right, join me next time for the next chapter, which is called School Spy. Take care.